Good morning, everybody. It's meteorologist Taylor Stephenson here with 13 News Now to give you an update on the tropics as Debby tries to make its way up the East Coast over the next couple of days. So here's Debby as our 8 a.m. update. If we can take those graphics full so everybody can see them. Thank you very much. We are talking Debby right now, a tropical storm, sustained winds of 45 miles an hour, but gusts up to 60 miles per hour. This is going to track through South Carolina and make a second landfall. After that, tracking through North Carolina into Virginia. Once it passes us, it will be much weaker, a tropical depression with sustained winds up to 35 miles per hour. But this puts us on the right side of the storm. What that means is we're on what we call the dirty side of the storm. That leads to the potential of severe weather. After that, it will push to the north at a much faster rate than it's moving now and will make it into the northeast and parts of Canada by the weekend. Now, Debby is only moving at 4 miles per hour. That is faster than some people jog or run on a treadmill. So very, very slow moving. And that's why places around the southeast coast are really concerned about flooding and flash flooding potential for today. Tropical storm watches and warnings are in effect for today. This is from Jacksonville all the way up through Savannah and Charleston, heading just south of the Outer Banks, where we are seeing a tropical storm watch in effect. So that means that tropical storm conditions are likely over the next day or two. For us here in Hampton Roads, we are not in any of those tropical watches or warnings, but we are underneath a level 2 out of 5 risk for severe weather. For this particular setup, we are expecting the opportunity for brief spin-up tornadoes. That's because those outer bands or the outside of Debby could rotate around the center of low pressure and then kick up some rotation enough to spawn a tornado, especially during the afternoon when we get a little bit more heat in the picture. That will help to bring more energy to these storms. So in that yellow zone, that yellow area, that is the highest potential for severe weather tomorrow. This is from extreme western Virginia Beach all the way out to the I-95 corridor, cutting into parts of the peninsula and then going straight south. So Elizabeth City, Ahoskie, Eatonton, you are in that level 2 out of 5 risk for severe weather, particularly in this situation, that tornado threat. We also are watching for this flood watch. This goes into effect Wednesday evening and will last through Friday evening. This is for the peninsula, south and west. So this means that we have the opportunity to see some flash flooding in the area. This morning we already had a flood advisory in places along the Outer Banks, but with the tropical downpours and the fact that we've already picked up 2+ inches of rain over the past 12 hours or 15 hours in some places, we're talking about saturated ground and just adding water on top of that. So a lot to take care of. So here is the flash flooding potential from Thursday morning into Friday morning. The zone for extreme flash flooding potential runs from the extreme southeastern coast of parts of North Carolina all the way through Raleigh and back down into northeastern South Carolina. Here in Hampton Roads, we are talking a level 2 out of 4 risk for flash flooding potential in that dark green color. That will continue from Friday morning into Saturday morning as well, with the highest rainfall totals anywhere in that dark green color. So be very weather aware. So let's walk you through our future cast to show you exactly what we should be seeing, or the potential of what we could see over the next couple of days. Isolated showers will continue for the morning and then transition into tropical downpours by lunchtime. With all of the cloud cover, all of the rain, temperatures will stay in the upper 70s to lower 80s. Now, we could see some rainfall totals getting a little bit higher than what we're seeing forecast, because we could have some isolated very heavy downpours over small areas. So be very careful as you're getting out and about for the rest of your week. Now, these showers and thunderstorms will not be an all-day thing. You'll get a break in the rain and then more rain will return. Again, this moisture being kicked up by Debby. Tonight, we're still seeing some scattered downpours, a couple of rumbles of thunder are possible, but rain becomes much more widespread late tonight into very early tomorrow morning. Overnight tonight, temperatures will drop off into the middle to upper 70s. Then here comes Debby after making landfall and then getting some more forward speed and moving through central parts of North Carolina and Virginia. Again, this puts us on the dirty side of the storm, and what that means is that we have the potential for tornado risk starting tomorrow morning. So have multiple ways to receive weather alerts. That means downloading the 13 News Now app, making sure that you have the alerts turned on for the app, and having your NOAA radio ready in case of a tornado. Now again, we're not talking any long track, very strong tornadoes. That's not the setup. With any tropical system, we are talking brief and very short-lived and weak tornadoes that go through the area. But again, still a possibility all day on Thursday, but the highest possibility for those tornadoes comes during the afternoon. That's because we'll have more heat from the heat of the day, which comes in the afternoon and evening, where temperatures will rise to the 80s by that time. So be very weather aware as you're heading into work, taking those kids to summer camp, and if you are staying at home, make sure you have a plan of action just in case. Again, these will be off and on showers and thunderstorms, so you may get a few minutes to a couple hours worth of a break before your next round of rain returns. The rain chances continue on Friday, but that severe weather risk moves further north. So that's mainly on Friday for the Middle Peninsula, the northern neck, and the eastern shore. We also will see wind gusts kick up. The good news about this is that this is one of the lowest threats we'll have in terms of Debby's impacts. So starting on Thursday morning, we'll start to see the highest wind gusts south and then moving to the north. So, and with any of these impacts, it's going to be from North Carolina on up. So places like the Albemarle Sound, Outer Banks, Elizabeth City, Eatonton, you will be the first ones to see some impacts from Debby, and then we'll continue to progress to the north. So tomorrow morning, we are talking wind gusts up to 29 to 35, 36 miles per hour. So breezy to start the day, and we could see some wind gusts up to about 40 miles per hour as we get into your Thursday night once Debby starts to pass inland towards parts of Raleigh into Richmond areas. So by Friday, we will see some temperatures again in those 70s to start off, but wind gusts will still be in that 35 to 40 mile per hour range. Now these are just gusts, these are not sustained winds, but the good news is as we get into Friday, all those winds start to really taper off once Debby moves closer to the northeast. Overall though, we're going to pick up some pretty substantial rain. Near the coastline is where the lowest rain chances will be. So Eastern Shore, Virginia Beach, Outer Banks, you may pick up another ½ an inch to 2 inches of rain from now through Friday on top of what we've already seen. But inland is where some of those higher rainfall totals are. We can see anywhere from 3 to about 7 inches of rain for the rest of the viewing area, but an isolated 8 to 9 inches of rain is definitely not out of the question. So that's why we're so concerned about flash flooding, because the ground is already saturated. You add on another ½ a foot of rain, the water really has nowhere to go. We also are tracking one other area in the tropics that has only a 10% chance of development, but it's just showing that our hurricane season is starting to get a little bit more active as Saharan dust starts to wane. We do have the potential to see some more activity over the next couple of weeks. So let's take a look at what we're seeing right now in terms of our live radar, so you know what to expect if you are about to head out doors to go to work, or you're taking kids to summer camp, or you have any errands that you need to run. At the moment, we do have increased cloud cover in the area, and again, that is a part of Debby. So here is where Debby is sitting right now. Again, still a pretty weak tropical storm, only sustained winds of 45 miles per hour as of the 8 a.m. update. We will get our next update at 11 a.m., and that will also give us an updated forecast cone. So as you see, Debby is just swirling just south and east of Charleston. That's that center of rotation and center of the low pressure system. We are seeing a few heavy downpours moving into parts of North Carolina, but here is the Outer Banks. We're going to see some more rain washing up near Ocracoke, Avon, Rodanthe over the next few minutes. So if you're in the Outer Banks, make sure that you have the umbrella if you're heading out and about for the next couple of hours. On the Virginia side of of things in northeast North Carolina, we're not seeing much around Elizabeth City or Eatonton or Hosky. It's really going to be right around Exmoor into Martin Siding down to Cape Charles as we get into some of the heavier rainfall coming down in the area. But again, some of the tropical downpours not coming until this afternoon. As you get into parts of the peninsula, just some few very light showers north of Poquoson. We are seeing a light shower there as well. So Grafton, you're getting a few raindrops at your doorstep at the moment. But these are just the isolated showers again for this morning where heavier downpours are possible, because look just to our south. These are the heavy downpours we're anticipating rolling in by this afternoon, but they're still well out into Wilmington, down into parts of Hatteras, Atlantic, in that area. But this will move our direction over the next couple of hours. So again, another look at what Debby is doing right now. This is the 8 a.m. update from the Hurricane Center, showing Debby is a weak tropical storm, but trying to tap in to some of the warmer Atlantic waters to slightly re-strengthen. By tomorrow, it should be a tropical storm still, but with higher wind speeds, maybe up to 50, possibly 55 miles per hour before it makes landfall on Thursday. Now, going through parts of the Carolinas as a tropical storm before weakening into a tropical depression to our west. Again, when you have a tropical depression to the west, you're in that zone for favorable severe weather potential. So that's why we are really tracking Debby here, because of that potential for flash flooding and the potential for tornadoes. After that, Debby comes through the northeast and exits the U.S. through Canada. But again, we are watching for those tropical downpours to start as we get into this afternoon. This is when you need to start knowing your weather plans, making sure that you have the umbrella, the rain boots, the raincoat. Tomorrow, you need to know exactly where you'll be if we do see a brief spin-up tornado. Again, that threat starts tomorrow morning, but the highest threat is going to be Thursday afternoon. I'm going to walk you through, once again, our future cast, our future view to show you where we could see some of that rain moving through the area. Isolated showers, again, for this morning with tropical downpours by lunchtime. And again, this is going to be a pretty scattered rain chance as we get into the afternoon. We are talking temperatures in the area. We are talking temperatures in the area in the upper 70s to lower 80s across much of Virginia and in North Carolina. But again, off and on showers and maybe a couple of thunderstorms possible. Then tonight, we will see that rain coverage really picking up across the area as Debby tries to move inland. We will see widespread rain by midnight tonight, but a little bit of clearing early tomorrow morning. And then we enter with that chance for some severe weather. So again, a level 2 out of 5 risk for tornadoes tomorrow. So not the lowest end, but definitely not anywhere near the highest risk. This is going to be, again, for those outer bands that may cause a spin-up tornado throughout the day. Highs tomorrow, very similar to today, in the lower to middle 80s. Heavy downpours possible, especially the further west you live. Again, the further west you live, the more rainfall you're going to pick up. So between the coastline, maybe half an inch to an inch of rain, and isolated 2 inches of rain, not out of the question. For everyone else west of the coast, we are talking anywhere from 2 to 4 inches of rain, or even 4 to 7 inches of rain, with an isolated 9 possible. Now, 9 is probably the highest we'll see, if at all. I'm thinking more of a 3 to 7 inch range for most of the area. But this is all a part of Tropical Storm Debby as it continues its trek through parts of the U.S., wreaking havoc on especially the deep south, as it will bring substantial rainfall and a great risk of flash flooding for parts of the Carolinas today. We are talking this track again going through the mid-Atlantic heading into Thursday and Friday and exiting by the weekend. We'll have more on Debby throughout the day today. Starting at noon, Evan will be in to do your noon show. We'll have Tim later on today, and then we'll have team coverage starting tomorrow with Hunter and I on daybreak as we track Debby and its impacts here here in Hampton Roads. We also will have another streaming time where you can know the exact details of Debby, and we'll walk you through very slowly, and that's at 7 p.m. tonight. For 13 News Now, I'm meteorologist Taylor Stephenson. Thank you so much for joining me.